Morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm Professor Rios, and this video is meant to be administrative in nature, so there's no content that is going to be shown. This basically has everything to do with AI, that topic that's kind of in the news and all over the place. So, and how to properly tackle usage of and documentation of, more specifically. So this is designed to get you to think before you click submit on anything. And frankly, this applies not only to this course, but really anything. Using AI without giving credit is plagiarism, cheating. Let's just be super blunt about it. So you have to give credit. It is no different than, for example, going somewhere, copying and pasting, and that's it. Submitting it as your own. If you're using AI and you're simply copying and pasting, it is not your own. Period. So you need to take that into account. This isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's becoming far more widespread, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger deal for academia. Entire papers have been plagiarized using it, and I'm not talking my course, just generally speaking now. And so how does it apply in this particular course? Well, more than likely it applies in forums, discussion forums. So discussion forums are meant to be opinionated events. You're asked a question, you're asked to give and come up with an original post and respond to that of two others. Usually the response isn't where the issue happens. It's usually in the main post, because that's meant to be a little bit more significant in terms of coverage of information. And so what happens is you get something that is exquisitely detailed and beautiful sounding. It's not that I'm doubting your ability to write well, but if what's provided isn't really commensurate to what the question was, or if it's way beyond what the question was asking, there's something there that is going to prompt me to at least ask you a question. And it's just that. And it isn't that I'm expecting people to cheat and plagiarize, but it's something that has to be mentioned because it's becoming more prevalent in all of academia. So, when you come to college, theoretically, ideally, you're here to learn to think critically. Maybe you already do think critically and you're hoping to learn to think critically better. Hopefully you are doubting things and questioning things, and that's all good. That's all part of learning and academia and growing up and all that good stuff. But if you're simply using it as a copy-paste tool just to get it out of the way, that's plagiarism. It's plain and simple. And I will call you out on it if I see it, if it becomes really, really, really obvious. Now, most tools or most people generally use either Google Gemini or ChatGPT, which just, as of the making of this clip, came up with ChatGPT 5.0. Not too long ago. I remember it was 3.5, so it's definitely moving along and it's getting better. There are assignments in this course, World Regional Geography, like the Google Earth assignments, where AI really can't help you, frankly, yet. I'm thinking that will probably change in the not too distant future. But those, you actually have to go ahead and do some work on your own. And that's kind of the point. I'm trying to get you to get out of this whole just copy, paste, go look for things. And, a computer can do that. I want you to think about the material you're looking at. Again, AI can do tremendous things for you. Like it can help you to write better. You come up with something and tell it to give it to you in a much more concise and clean way, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's great. But when it comes to actual information, answering of actual questions, exams, like for example, in this course, as recently as last semester. So that would be, in this case, the spring of 2025. 3 individuals failed the final because it was clearly an AI-generated response. And I say that with certainty because the paper was meant to be a closed event, meaning I gave you the sources, and none of the sources that were used were the ones I gave. So the only conclusion to be drawn from that is, 1, the student didn't even bother reading the exam question, which makes no sense because they answered it about the right place, just in an incorrect way. Or they used AI because it didn't really answer the question that was being asked. It answered something else. And it sounded interesting, but it wasn't what I was looking for. So, have questions? Really ask. We can meet via phone. I have Google Voice. You can meet via email. I can answer in that way. We can meet on Zoom if you prefer to do that. Okay? You can even have a background. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I understand not everybody's comfortable with Zoom. But it's something that has to be addressed and you have to think about before you click. And that's the whole point of this video that I'm creating, that you hopefully watch at the beginning of the term. Think about what you're going to do before you click submit. And that should apply to really anything you do. If you do use it, give credit. And in a discussion that can be as simple as providing a link. But again, in a discussion, they're meant to be opinionated responses, meaning you can use I, me, my. Get it? It's your opinion. And so you're going to be graded by how good you crafted that opinion and how good you responded to 2 other students. So it's really a very subjective event. It's subjectively graded, but it is also a very opinionated event. So grades usually tend to be pretty good for those events, unless you just blow it off. So be on the lookout for that. Homeworks and quizzes are all managed either through Pearson and or the class webpage. And that is changing too. So little by little, you adapt. You're adapting. Instructors are adapting. Industry is adapting. Everything's adapting to this sort of new and evolving reality. But again, while it offers a great deal of potential, it has many, many pitfalls and frankly, the ability to waste your time. Because if you're not critically thinking, if you're not learning, then frankly, why are you doing it? Right? Anyway, again, questions, please ask. Otherwise, I hope you have a great semester and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.